Now, around 8 hours ago, right now it's 7:55, the final novel written by the late great Sir Terry Pratchett went on sale. Hugely popular author, died in March at the age of 66, 8 years after being diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. The Shepherd's Crown is the 41st book in his Discworld series. Now, Pat Harkin is a super fan of Sir Terry Pratchett, and there are many of those. Hello, Pat.
Good morning.
And Rob Wilkins was the late author's best friend, personal assistant. Hi, Rob.
Hey, good morning.
We've spoken before about Terry. What a guy. I was so lucky to have met him as well and to have interviewed him. How diminished towards the end were his creative powers, or was he still going strong?
He was really still going strong. The book itself was finished. The narrative, the actual story itself was finished in the summer of last year. And in fact, the last working day in the office was the 5th of December. That was the last day that we sort of downed tools and went off, had a cup of tea and called it a day. And that was a tough day because I didn't realise, obviously, at the time that it would be our last day in the office. And then, so up until then, he was still working very hard.
It's amazing with people with Alzheimer's and people listening who know about dementia and Alzheimer's. There are sometimes certain facets that remain strong, aren't there?
Well, if you can ever be blessed having a variant of Alzheimer's, Terry always said that he had the gold standard. So he had posterior cortical atrophy, so it started in the back of the brain and moved forward. And therefore, his deviousness, the storytelling part of his brain remained until almost the very end.
Did you have to fill in the gaps?
No, not filling in the gaps. What Terry wrote, the way that he wrote, he didn't know where he'd started in the story until he was in the process. So there was no gap filling, but what there was that I describe it as a giant literary jigsaw, and we just we actually placed the pieces together.
Oh, wonderful. So, Pat, what do you think?
I haven't read much of the new book yet. I know there were fans who said that they were going to start reading at midnight and not stop until they'd done. And I imagine they're looking rather bleary this morning. But I'm going to savour this one rather than rush into it. But I'm really looking forward to reading this book, and I'm loving the bits I've read so far.
Oh, really? What do you like about the bits you've read so far? Is it absolutely in tune with the rest of the series?
Oh, it certainly is. Terry had a way of describing things, a way of putting things across to you, which... I mean, people sometimes ask me, why is Terry's writing so good? And if I could figure out why his writing was so good, I might have a crack at doing it myself. And that is never going to happen because he was one of a kind. But so the first few chapters that I've read so far are pure Discworld, and the magic is still there on every page.
Yeah, I think a big part of it is, and I know I'm pushing at an open door here, Rob, but his humanity comes across.
Oh, absolutely. We describe it as a mirror of our own worlds. Terry can get across really big ideas and then spin it with a joke at the end.
Yeah.
And that was the genius.
Yeah. So he was very complimentary about you as well, Pat, wasn't he? That he described you as the king of the Uber fans.
Yes. I will have to carry that for the rest of my days. Yes, you're right. Because he not only said it, he wrote it down. So it will live on after him, I'm afraid. But yes.
Not a bad thing to carry for the rest of your days.
He could have said a lot worse. And would probably have been justified.
Enjoy the book. Love to talk to you when you've read the whole thing, when you savoured it, as you say. Pat Harkin, super fan, Uber fan, Rob Wilkins, late author's best friend and personal assistant. Thank you very much indeed, Rob.
Thanks, Nicky.
And The Shepherd's Crown is out today, 41st book in the Discworld series.